Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. When we think of US coins, many of us picture the familiar faces of George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, or even Franklin D. Roosevelt. One coin that often flies under the radar, yet has earned a special place in the hearts of collectors, is the 1978 Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it might seem like just another dime, nothing too exciting or rare. However, when you take a closer look, you'll find that this particular coin has the potential to be worth a small fortune. Today, we're going to explore why the 1978 Roosevelt dime is more than just pocket change, and how it can be worth far more than its original value. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Designed by John R. Sinek, the coin features Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch on the reverse. These elements symbolize peace, liberty, and strength. While this design has remained largely unchanged over the years, there are subtle variations in the coins from different years. The 1978 dime, for example, has some characteristics that set it apart from other dimes minted during that time period. Let's start with the basics. The U.S. Mint produced millions of 1978 Roosevelt dimes, but only a select few have the characteristics that make them truly valuable. Most coins from this year were minted for general circulation and have little value beyond their face value of 10 cents. However, certain conditions and unique characteristics can make a 1978 dime worth much more to collectors. One of the first things that can dramatically affect the value of a 1978 Roosevelt dime is its condition. Coins, like any collectibles, are valued based on their quality and preservation. A dime that's been heavily circulated and shows signs of wear, such as scratches, tarnish, or fading of the design, will typically be worth only its face value. But if you happen to find a 1978 dime in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, it could be worth far more. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition are often more valuable, especially if they've been carefully stored and protected from the elements. The value of an uncirculated coin can be much higher because it's in better shape than coins that have been in daily circulation for decades. The next factor that can influence the value of the 1978 Roosevelt dime is the possibility of a minting error. Mint errors happen when the coin is produced with some sort of defect during the minting process. These errors can be subtle or more noticeable, but either way, they often make a coin much more valuable. For the 1978 dime, some of the most common errors that collectors look for are doubled dies, misstrikes, or off-center strikes. A doubled die occurs when the design is stamped twice, creating a blurry or doubled image on parts of the coin. If you happen to find a 1978 Roosevelt dime with this type of error, you could have a highly valuable piece on your hands. Another minting error that could increase the value of your 1978 dime is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be partially cut off or misaligned. Off-center coins are considered rarities, and depending on the degree of misalignment, they can fetch a much higher price than a standard, properly struck coin. Now, let's talk about the rarity of the coin. Rarity plays a major role in determining a coin's worth. The more difficult a coin is to find, the more valuable it becomes to collectors. While millions of 1978 Roosevelt dimes were minted, certain variations of the coin are rarer than others, particularly those with minting errors or unique characteristics. A dime with a doubled die or off-center strike, for example, is much rarer than the standard, flawless coins that were produced in large numbers. The rarity of these special dimes can make them highly sought after by collectors, further driving up their value. So, how much could a 1978 Roosevelt dime actually be worth? Most 1978 dimes are worth only their face value of 10 cents, especially if they've been heavily circulated. However, when you take into account factors like condition, minting errors, and rarity, the value of the coin can skyrocket. For a 1978 Roosevelt dime that is in excellent condition or features a rare minting error, collectors are willing to pay significantly more. In some cases, a rare, high-quality 1978 Roosevelt dime can be worth as much as $67,000. Yes, that's right, $67,000 in words, just for a single dime. This incredible price highlights just how valuable the world of coin collecting can be. What may seem like a simple dime from 1978 could turn out to be a hidden treasure that's worth far more than anyone might have expected. For collectors, finding coins like this is the ultimate thrill, the chance to discover a rare and valuable piece of American history right in their pocket change. So, the next time you find yourself with a handful of dimes, take a moment to inspect them carefully. You might just be holding on to a 1978 Roosevelt dime that could make you thousands of dollars richer. Whether you're an experienced numismatist or just someone with an eye for rare finds, this coin reminds us all that sometimes, the most unexpected discoveries can turn into the greatest rewards. Keep your eyes open, because you never know when you'll come across a dime that could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 2. When most people think about a dime, they probably imagine a simple 10-cent coin, which doesn't seem like much. However, in the world of coin collecting, even the most seemingly ordinary coins can have hidden value, and the 2003 Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of this. While the 2003 dime may have been widely circulated and spent in your everyday transactions, some rare versions of this coin can be worth far more than their face value. If you're a coin collector or just curious about what makes certain coins valuable, you're in for an interesting discovery today. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, designed by John R. Sinek to honor the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The coin's design, featuring Roosevelt's profile on the obverse, has remained largely unchanged over the years. On the reverse, you'll find an image of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. While this design has remained consistent, the value of the coin can change dramatically depending on the year it was minted, its condition, and most importantly, any errors or unique variations that make a particular coin stand out. The 2003 Roosevelt dime, like most other coins from this era, was produced in large quantities. However, it's important to note that not every coin minted that year holds significant value. In fact, the vast majority of 2003 dimes are worth just 10 cents, as intended. But, as with many coins, certain rarities and errors can cause a 2003 dime to become a sought-after collector's item. For collectors, these rare versions are often worth much more than what they originally cost. So, what makes the 2003 Roosevelt dime so special? The answer lies in minting errors, condition, and the rarity of certain varieties. One of the most important factors that can increase the value of the 2003 dime is a minting error. Minting errors are often overlooked by casual observers, but to a collector, they can be extremely valuable. These errors occur when the coin is improperly struck or doesn't meet the quality control standards set by the U.S. Mint. Common minting errors include doubled dies, off-center strikes, or even coins that were struck with the wrong die. When a coin like the 2003 Roosevelt dime has one of these errors, it can make the coin much more rare and highly valuable. For example, a doubled die error happens when the die used to stamp the coin was misaligned, creating a doubled appearance on the coin's design. These errors are often sought after by collectors, as they add a unique, collectible twist to a seemingly ordinary coin. Another factor that can greatly affect the value of the 2003 Roosevelt dime is its condition. Coins, especially those that have been in circulation for years, often show signs of wear and tear. Scratches, discoloration, and other damage can lower the value of a coin. However, if you happen to come across a 2003 dime that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, you may have a valuable piece on your hands. Uncirculated coins are often much more sought after, as they retain their original sharpness, luster, and clarity, making them much more desirable to collectors. The more perfect the condition, the higher the price the coin can command. In addition to minting errors and condition, Another important factor in determining the value of the 2003 Roosevelt dime is its rarity. While the U.S. Mint produces millions of dimes each year, some coins end up being rarer than others. Certain varieties of the 2003 dime, especially those with minting defects or limited production runs, are harder to find. Coins that are rare, especially those with unique features or errors, tend to be worth more because of the scarcity. The more difficult a coin is to find, the more valuable it becomes in the eyes of collectors. Now, you might be wondering, just how much is a 2003 Roosevelt dime really worth? Well, the answer depends on the condition of the coin, whether it has any minting errors, and how rare it is. For a typical, circulated 2003 dime, it's worth only its face value of 10 cents. However, for a coin that has been preserved in excellent condition or one that features a rare minting error, the value can be much higher. In some cases, a 2003 Roosevelt dime with a significant minting error or one that's in nearly perfect condition has been known to sell for as much as $24,000. Yes, that's right, $24,000 in words, just for a single 2003 Roosevelt dime. This stunning figure highlights the fascinating world of coin collecting, where what seems like an ordinary dime can turn into a small fortune with the right combination of rarity, condition, and unique characteristics. For those who are passionate about numismatics, it's an exciting reminder of how even the most humble coins can have hidden value. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, the 2003 Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of how paying close attention to detail can lead to the discovery of a valuable piece of history. So, the next time you come across a 2003 Roosevelt dime, don't just toss it into your pocket change jar. Take a closer look. It could be the hidden gem you've been looking for. With a little luck and a keen eye, you could be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. Who knows? You might just be the next lucky collector to strike gold with a 2003 Roosevelt dime. Top 3. When most people think about coins, they usually imagine everyday change, pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. The Roosevelt dime, which has been in circulation since 1946, is one of those coins that most people come across regularly. But did you know that certain years of the Roosevelt dime, including the 2002 issue, have the potential to be worth far more than their face value? What seems like an ordinary 10-cent coin could actually be hiding a valuable treasure. In this video, we're going to explore what makes the 2002 Roosevelt dime so special, and why it could be worth thousands of dollars to the right collector. Let's start with a little background on the Roosevelt dime itself. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Designed by John R. Sinek, the dime features a profile of Roosevelt on the obverse, with a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, symbols of peace, liberty, and strength. The Roosevelt dime was minted in large quantities over the years, but just like any other series of coins, some years are rarer than others and can carry more value. While the 2002 Roosevelt dime was produced in high numbers, it's worth digging a little deeper to understand what could make a particular coin from that year worth a lot more than its standard face value. First, let's talk about the importance of condition. When it comes to collectible coins, the condition plays a major role in determining their value. Coins that have been in circulation for years typically show signs of wear and tear. These dimes may be scratched, scuffed, or faded, which makes them far less valuable to collectors. However, a 2002 Roosevelt dime that has been well preserved and remains in mint or uncirculated condition could be a gem for coin enthusiasts. Uncirculated coins are highly prized because they retain the sharp details and luster that make them look as if they just came from the mint. If you come across a 2002 Roosevelt dime that is in perfect condition, meaning it hasn't been handled or worn down by time, it could be worth far more than just 10 cents. Now, let's move on to another crucial factor in determining the value of the 2002 Roosevelt dime: minting errors. Minting errors are some of the most exciting and valuable aspects of coin collecting. They happen when a coin is struck improperly during the manufacturing process. These errors can range from small imperfections to more noticeable defects, but one thing is certain: errors make a coin far rarer, and rarity drives up the price. Common minting errors include doubled dies, where the design appears as though it's been struck twice, and off-center strikes, where part of the coin's design is cut off due to the coin being misaligned. If a 2002 Roosevelt dime has one of these minting errors, it can be worth significantly more than its regular counterpart. These error coins are often highly sought after by collectors, who are willing to pay a premium for these rare anomalies. Another factor that can affect the value of the 2002 Roosevelt dime is its variety. While this may seem like a small detail, certain varieties of coins are worth more because they are rarer or were produced under different circumstances. In the case of the 2002 Roosevelt dime, there are two primary types to be aware of: the standard business strike and the proof coin. Proof coins are specially made for collectors and have a shiny, mirror-like finish that sets them apart from the typical dimes you'd find in circulation. These proof coins were produced in smaller quantities and are often in near-perfect condition, making them much more valuable than their circulation counterparts. If you happen to find a proof version of the 2002 Roosevelt dime, especially one that's in pristine condition, it could fetch a high price among collectors. So, now that we've covered condition, minting errors, and variety, how much could a 2002 Roosevelt dime actually be worth? If you happen to find a coin in perfect condition, or one that features a rare minting error, you could be looking at a significant return on your dime. While a typical 2002 Roosevelt dime in circulated condition is worth just 10 cents, rare examples of the coin have been known to sell for much, much more. In fact, certain 2002 Roosevelt dimes have been sold for as much as $27,000. Yes, that's right, $27,000 in words, for just one 2002 Roosevelt dime. This incredible price showcases just how valuable the right coin can be. What many people might see as just another dime in their pocket could actually be worth thousands of dollars to the right buyer. Collecting coins like these is a reminder that sometimes, ordinary items can be much more than they seem. So, the next time you find yourself going through your change, take a moment to inspect those 2002 dimes closely. You could be holding onto a rare, valuable piece of history that could bring you a nice profit. For coin collectors, this is the kind of find that makes the hobby so exciting and rewarding. Whether it's a minting error, a coin in pristine condition, or a proof version of the 2002 Roosevelt dime, you never know when you'll stumble upon a valuable treasure. So, keep your eyes peeled for those dimes, especially the 2002 edition, and who knows, you might just find yourself with a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 4. When you think of dimes, you probably envision a small, everyday coin worth just 10 cents. Most of us carry them around in our pockets without giving them much thought. However, in the world of coin collecting, even a dime from as recent as 2016 can turn out to be much more valuable than its face value. That's right. What might seem like an ordinary Roosevelt dime could actually be worth a small fortune. Today, we're going to dive into the fascinating world of the 2016 Roosevelt dime and explore why it could be worth much more than just 10 cents. Stick around, because you might be surprised by what you could find in your pocket change. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1946, and its design has remained relatively consistent over the years. Featuring a profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, and an olive branch, oak branch, and torch on the reverse, the coin's design is simple yet symbolic. Roosevelt's image on the dime is a tribute to the 32nd President of the United States, who played a pivotal role during some of the most challenging times in American history. Since its introduction, the Roosevelt dime has been a reliable, everyday coin used for transactions across the country. However, the 2016 version of this dime has some unique features that make it stand out among other dimes minted that year. While it's true that most 2016 Roosevelt dimes are worth just 10 cents in their typical circulated form, the real value comes from rare, special conditions, or minting errors that can set certain coins apart. What makes the 2016 Roosevelt dime intriguing is that even though it was produced in large quantities, there are still some rare examples that can fetch a much higher price. As a collector, you're always on the lookout for those little nuances that make a coin more valuable than others, and the 2016 Roosevelt dime has its own set of characteristics that could make it worth thousands of dollars. One of the key factors that determine the value of any coin is its condition. A 2016 Roosevelt dime that has been in circulation for years will typically show signs of wear, such as scratches, fading, or discoloration. These types of coins are usually worth just their face value. However, a coin that is in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning it has been carefully preserved and hasn't been used in everyday transactions, can be much more valuable. Coins in uncirculated condition retain their original shine, crisp details, and are often considered more desirable by collectors. If you happen to come across a 2016 Roosevelt dime that looks as though it was just minted yesterday, you could be looking at a coin that's worth far more than 10 cents. But it's not just about the condition of the coin. Another crucial factor that can skyrocket the value of a 2016 Roosevelt dime is a minting error. Minting errors are always a hot topic in the coin collecting world, as they occur when something goes wrong during the production process. These errors could include things like double strikes, where the design appears twice on the coin, off-center strikes, or even incorrect die usage. For the 2016 Roosevelt dime, if a minting error occurs, it can make the coin extremely rare and desirable to collectors. A coin that's been misprinted or struck off-center is much less common than a standard, well-made dime, which is why collectors are willing to pay a premium for these rare finds. A double die error, for instance, occurs when the coin is struck twice by the same die, causing parts of the design to appear more than once. This can create a blurred, doubled appearance that's often easy to spot, especially on the date or on Roosevelt's profile. A dime from 2016 with a double die error could quickly become a highly sought-after item in the coin market. Even small off-center errors, where the design appears slightly misaligned or the coin has been struck with an incorrect die, can dramatically increase the value of the coin. Another factor to keep in mind when it comes to coin value is the rarity of certain varieties. Even though the U.S. Mint produced millions of 2016 dimes, certain versions of the coin, particularly those with minting errors or unique characteristics, are much rarer than others. When a coin is rare, it's more valuable. If you happen to come across a 2016 Roosevelt dime with a unique variation, whether it's due to a minting error or an uncommon feature, you could be holding a coin that's worth significantly more than what's printed on the face of the coin. So, you may be wondering, just how much could a 2016 Roosevelt dime be worth? As previously mentioned, most 2016 dimes will only ever be worth 10 cents in everyday transactions. However, rare examples of this coin, especially those in pristine condition or with minting errors, can fetch much higher prices. If you have a 2016 Roosevelt dime with one of these rare features, you could find yourself with a coin worth as much as $27,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $27,000 in words, just for one 2016 Roosevelt dime. This impressive value shows just how much potential hidden treasures can be found in your everyday pocket change. It's a reminder that even a coin that may seem simple or common can turn into something much more valuable when it has the right qualities. For collectors, the thrill of finding a rare minting error or a perfectly preserved coin is what makes the hobby so exciting. Whether you're an experienced numismatist or just starting out, the 2016 Roosevelt dime proves that there's always the possibility of striking gold in the most unlikely places. Next time you come across a 2016 Roosevelt dime, take a moment to carefully inspect it. If you find a pristine example or notice a potential minting error, you could have a hidden gem on your hands. In the world of coin collecting, even the smallest coin can turn into a valuable treasure. So keep your eyes open, because you never know when you'll come across a dime that's worth far more than you ever expected.